All right, The Walking Dead's back. It's time to talk about episode 10. I'm Justin.
Oh, and I'm JP.
You're
Justin.
Yes. JP is not really awake this morning. He's had a long night, but he has promised he is going to he's going to give it his best. We're having a rough morning too. Somebody left the third mic on. So
I'm shucking and jiving over here, but no, man, I just watched the episode. It was a little difficult for me just because, I'm watching it on a computer monitor, so like those flashbacks in the basement or whatever.
Right.
Just because of the brightness on the computer, it was kind of hard to see what was going on. I don't know if that's what it was like on actual television, but...
Well, and you really got no sleep last night because you've had some stuff going on that's been, that's kept you up, and so this was not really the episode for you to watch while you're tired.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Like my cousin's actually like in a season 1 Rick Grimes kind of situation. He's literally in a coma. So
right.
I spent all night at the hospital, and it was I'm not my sharpest. I'm not at my best, but I watched the episode, man. I'm ready to talk about it.
Number one, before we get to going, let me just go ahead and say, if you love The Walking Dead and you love to discuss it, we're not experts. We're not going to give you
I don't remember half the character names, especially these new people.
We're not going to give you crazy spoilers and stuff. I mean, every now and again, if we hear something that's big enough that we think's worth talking about, we will talk about. But overall, the main thing that we do is just kind of discuss what if situations, talk about the episodes, make predictions, yada, yada, yada. Think of this more as sitting at a bar and discussing The Walking Dead with your friends, more so than one of those professional Walking Dead channels. But make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you just like podcasts in general, hit that subscribe button. We have Random Rambling Wednesdays where we talk about a little bit of everything.
Whatever's on our mind. And we might actually have a special guest this Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah, good friend of ours, a longtime friend of yours. That's going to be fun if he comes in. But we also have Mail Call Thursdays, and we're kind of delving into other stuff aside from The Walking Dead. So if you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification, and stick with us. But okay, episode 10 of season 9 has come and passed. Alpha has been unmasked. JP, what are your thoughts just overall on this episode?
Well,
That doesn't sound hopeful. I've been really digging this season, but we might feel the same. I don't know. Let's see.
This season, I felt like there was a little more psychobabble than I was hoping for. When Henry was like...
This episode?
This episode.
Okay,
yeah.
You said this season.
Like I said, I'm not going to be quite as sharp this podcast.
It's understandable. It's okay.
I probably should give that preamble before every podcast. I'm not going to be that sharp, but it's especially true this morning. But no, I mean, I don't know, man. I
really don't. I'm with you now, Henry. At this point, I'm like, I don't care for Henry one bit.
Dude, I don't want to jump ahead, but just for the sake of saying it while it's on my mind.
Spoilers before we go any further.
Oh yeah.
Duh. Spoilers.
We're going to be covering it top to bottom, but. When he takes Lydia on that little that little tour, and she's thinking of picking up the hammer, I was wishing so bad.
Oh, yeah.
She would just bludgeon Henry to death.
Yeah, me too, man.
Turn him into a skin suit and just walk out the door. I was like, please depart from the comic in this aspect. Just have her murder him.
Right.
And get him out of my life.
Me too. I don't like Henry. I'm not even that fond of the actor playing Henry.
No,
you know what I mean?
Like
I don't know him in a personal sense, but his acting as Henry is just... His acting of Henry is kind of like Carl back in the early seasons. You know what I mean? I just don't think he's... I
don't even like him as good as Carl, man. I don't like the fact that he's that old and his voice still hasn't broken. I don't like his sandy blonde hair.
I don't know though. I don't think the kid's that good of an actor. But aside from that, I don't dislike him. I think as an actor as much as you do. I mean, he's young. I mean, he could.
I don't like him as a human being.
I don't know him as a human being. But I mean, in a few years, he could turn around and become an incredible actor. I mean, we definitely watched Chandler Riggs get better because when he was a kid, he wasn't really all that. In my opinion, his acting wasn't all that great. But he did get a little better as he got older.
A little better, yeah.
With age comes experience, and this kid might become a great actor, so it's not so much I dislike him that strongly as an actor, but man, once he let her out that cell I'm like, you're too stupid to live in this world.
Yeah,
you're
dude.
too stupid to live in this Walking Dead world, man.
And I mean, she hadn't even like flirted with him or anything. Like if she had grabbed his junk through the bars or something, like, you know, let me get this cell and I'll, you know, you the key master, I'm the gatekeeper, baby, some stuff like that. Maybe I could have seen, but she didn't even like bat her eyes at him, man.
Yeah, he's so stupid. It's like, dude, I now one thing I will say is I do get her and Daryl connecting. Now that's understandable, and I actually like that. Again, I really like Daryl this season. If they can keep Daryl on this path, then Daryl will be my new Rick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like Daryl a lot now that he has lines and he's starting to have some depth, and we're seeing him relate to people. And, you know, we've known for a while that his father used to beat him, and they didn't have the best of relationships, and so he definitely can connect with Lydia, which is going to create some great drama because he's been a victim of domestic violence, so he doesn't want to give Lydia, you know, he's not going to want to give Lydia back to someone that's psychotic. But with Henry, it's like, do we need to remind you that she's with a group of people who wear dead people's skins on their body? They killed Jesus. You know, they're psychotic. They've tried to kill us a couple of times now. Don't let her walk around I mean, like, just what? He didn't even have a weapon with him. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand. I mean, I think it was stupid either way, but I could understand if Henry would have showed up with, like, a pistol. Like, when he let her out the cell, he turned his back on her. Like, he kept turning his back on her. I'm like, dude, I mean, at least come down there with a gun. Be like, I think I can trust you, but you can never be too safe. I'm going to let you walk around a bit. Stay behind her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man. Like, I understand Henry's a teenage boy. He wants to get that butt, and I totally get that. But at the same time, I mean,
he's a trained fighter. He's grown up in this war.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he came up like during the war. You know? He's not some bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, naive kid.
Right. He's dealt with an enemy group, the Saviors.
Yeah, that's exactly how he's acting.
It's just my opinion, you know. People that love Henry, I'm sorry. You know what? There's probably characters that I love that you hate, you know. It's just a difference of opinion. But I think that this season's been written pretty damn great so far, except for Henry. I think Henry is where the crappy writing is. I think that they just are struggling. They're trying to connect the dots for the Carl-Lydia relationship, and they're like, well, crap, we killed Carl, which was Scott Pimple's stupid ass, thing, which there might be more to it. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm still angry they killed Carl, and I'm going to blame Scott Dimple. I'm going to call him everything but Scott Gimple.
Yeah. Man.
But so now they're like, oh, man, we got to make this love story happen somehow. Teenage love. Let's go with Henry, the guy that no one asked for.
Nah, man. He's the Achilles heel to the season. This
season has been great, but that is a good way to put it. The weakest point of this season for me, like the new group. I actually really dig the new group with like Magna and Luke. And I find a lot of times, in shows when you've had a long-standing relationship from viewer to these characters, and then a new set of character comes up, you can almost kind of smug to them, you know what I mean? Like, this is my group right here. I like them. I think they pick great actors to portray them. I think they're likable, they're relatable, and they're actually writing the series in a way that we do get to know them, so that if one of them dies, it's actually going to be a little bit heartbreaking because we've gotten to know them, whereas in the past, The Walking Dead sometimes likes to introduce you to a character only to kill them episode or two later, and then be baffled as to why you're not sad that they died. It's like because you didn't flesh them out at all.
Yeah, I thought it was a little stupid. Their little midnight search party.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like if you're searching for someone, aren't you just like making it worse by going out at night? I mean, you're going to trample over tracks that they may have left. I mean.
Yep, you're exactly right.
I thought that was
I think that was part of it. I think that was showing, like inexperience versus because it's
not like a Daryl type track,
right? Like it was just showing, that was letting emotion.
You're right.
Overtake rationality. Tara, and actually, you know what? Don't stab me. I kind of like Tara this season. I think that they're trying to. At least I hope. It seems it's like they're portraying her in a weathered kind of seasoned. Veteran of all of this kind of way, like she's more laid back. She seems a lot more mature. I actually like Tara this season. I got a feeling she's going to have a spike under her head before it ends. But I like Tara this season. Like I like how she told told him, she said, look, next time you want to dispute one of my calls, come find me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't go behind my back, you know, because I don't know that I'm doing the right thing. So if you think that there's a better way, just come find me and tell me. And I think that's showing them that they're not living in a dictatorship. You know,
yeah, you can definitely tell she was Maggie's, I guess, apprentice, so to speak, protege or whatever, you know.
I'm digging Tara this season. Hopefully she doesn't do anything to make me change that. But if they keep this up, I dare say, maybe it's just me being optimistic because I love this show, but I dare say that they are actually conditioning some of these characters to kind of fill the void of not having Rick. Yep, Daryl, Tara, I mean, you know, the newcomer. I mean, you got a lot of good characters.
I'd like to see a new love interest for old Tara, but, you know, I guess that's not the foremost thing on her plate right now.
Right now, she's just been one of her best friends has been killed because, you know, her and Jesus were good friends, and
you know, getting some
she's got all this
thrown. That's the best way to work through grief. That is the best way to work through grief.
There's a release of chemicals that really help with the relaxation and ease of anxiety.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What did you think of the whole mind thing? I actually kind of thought it was pretty cool the way they showed how she had always thought it was. Versus how it actually was. You know, like her mom had conditioned her to think that all of the bad stuff was like her dad.
Yeah.
You know, like Shay cutting his beard actually was Alpha shaving her head. And I thought that was pretty cool. A little bit unnecessary, but I thought it was. I liked what they were trying to do because that is what a narcissist or sociopath will do is make themselves look like the good guy in your eyes, even though you know they're doing all the bad shit all along.
See, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch a little bit. Like I said, just the computer monitor, it did make it a little hard to see what was going on.
Yeah.
So I do want to rewatch that, and plus, I mean, it was like 6 a.m. me watching it.
Oh yeah, you were.
So I am going to go back and revisit because I was a little bit confused as to certain things going on. But
yeah, you go back and watch it. It's just basically showing you how. You know,
I mean, like pretty much by the end of it, I sort of more or less figured out what had happened. But
yeah, it's good. It was cool, man. I thought it was done really cool. Like I said, I don't think that you necessarily had to do that. But I thought it was really cool, and I enjoyed it. Actually, I'm pretty thrilled to be getting backstory, too, because I don't think we got any backstory on them in the comics other than little mentions of, but we didn't actually see, like, a flashback or, like, a big in-depth discussion of where they came from, what happened. Like, it just kind of was, here we are, here's what we believe.
Yeah, that's one thing with the comics. They're not big on the flashbacks unless it's like a special,
like Negan's thing.
Issue. Yeah. Which I mean is cool. You know, it's all happening in the moment. But
I mean, but I do think that I don't think we got that much backstory, even from the characters. And forgive me, it's been a while since I've read those. They came out quite a while ago, but I don't really remember getting that much backstory on Alpha and her daughter and any of that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, how do you like Alpha? What do you think? I'm still bitter Sarah Paulson. I don't even know if they were even considering her, but I'm bitter that someone didn't her agent didn't find the audition and send her to it, because Sarah Paulson is the right body size, even her face I could see. I mean, her bald. And if you listen to this, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, Sarah Paulson's one of my favorite actors ever.
She's
so you're
terrific. Man, it's killing me.
You're gonna hear me.
We still haven't seen Glass.
I know.
Yeah, but nah, man. I mean, I think they picked someone good. She looks very, I don't know. I don't even know what
she looks. I mean, she looks the part in the sense of she doesn't really look as much like comic book. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying at all that, some people will be like, "Oh, it can't always be comic book." I know that.
Right.
I actually don't mind this actress playing her at one bit. I'm just being, I'm not being sarcastic. I love Sarah Paulson, so to see her on this show would have been just incredible. But no, I think she does a good job. I think she definitely, man, she's up for I was watching last night, and forgive me for her name's Samantha, I think, in real life. Forgive me for not knowing her actual name. I'll have that by the time we come back, because the last few days have been just hard to keep up with.
It's been a busy weekend.
It has. Yeah. But she plays her good. She plays her really good. I'm not as big on the big country accent. I get where they are, but I never pictured Alpha having that much of a country accent. They kind of gave it to Negan, but it worked. Jeffrey Dean Morgan made kind of that Southern gentleman thing, kind of whatever. But I don't know, man. I just picture her being like kind of refined and almost one of those people that's so intelligent that she kind of went crazy. You know what I mean? Like a beautiful mind type thing.
Just like, rationalizes her awful actions and, just...
Right. Kind of like a Lex Luthor, a female Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
It's not just the bald head, too, But I like her. I thought she definitely has that psycho look. I did love, man. She looked creepy as hell when she come walking up and she had her mask off, but all the black stuff around her eyes. I mean, she was looking gruff, man. And I love from the previews I saw. You didn't see this, and I mean, this is just a quick little preview because we know Daryl's not going to hand Lydia over, but. She's like, I just want my daughter back, and they've got Luke and Alden.
And man, all those scars on Lydia's arms, man.
Oh yeah,
Jeez Louise. Because at first I'm like, those look really self-inflicted. Like she's been through so much trauma. She's a cutter now, but I guess her mom's just whacking her arms. I don't know. What's going on, but. If you're in Daryl's place, do you make the exchange? What's your play?
In the preview, it shows her say I just want my daughter back.
Yeah, I haven't seen the preview.
It's awesome. I have to tell you this part. It's not a spoiler. It's in the preview, but Daryl's just like, I'm not going to do that, and you just hear her go, wrong answer, and she lifts her. I thought they might kill one of Alden or Luke, man. I mean, the way they're doing it, that's the thing to the writers, man. And I get you don't want to just go whacking characters left and right, but the thing is, if you want to establish like Negan, love him or hate him, yes, he made the last 2 seasons. Well, he didn't. They drug it out to give him his thing. I honestly don't blame Jeffrey Dean Morgan for anything. He's done a great job as Negan, but they showed you out the gate. This dude's not to be. I mean, he came out and just killed 2 big characters, like the Whisperers. They already killed Jesus. We know they're not playing. I don't want them to kill Luke, and I really like Alden. He's a cool dude, but I think when she does that, they better kill Alden just so we know. Oh shoot!
I'm telling you, man. When they came up to the gates, I would have had people on my wall. I would have had archers as soon as they came up, just draw it on them,
See, I told Caitlin last night, I swear, I told my girlfriend last night, I was like, you have guns, archers. I mean, it seems like guns are kind of scarce in 6 years, but you have some. Archers. You've got archers, spears. I would have told them in a heartbeat, okay, make sure as long as they don't have any guns or whatever, you got the 2 people that you want back right there. You know they're safe. Don't shoot them. On the count, and I mean, you got to think though. There are repercussions. That's the thing. My reaction instantly to something like that is to be all right. Be patient. But as soon as we get the chance, we're taking them all out. But you don't even know who's in that group. You don't know how big that group is. You don't know what killing that group is. And that's the thing is like a leader is it's like, yes, it's so easy just to be like, all right, let's mow them down. But you don't know the repercussions. They might have 100 people on standby that they've told, all right, if we don't come back by this time, you tear that place apart. Well,
I mean, that's what happened with Rick and Company. You know? I mean, they think they've taken out all the saviors, and then he's got this whole force. But
so it is tempting just to wipe them all out. I mean, I would listen to what she had to say, and I don't know, man. It just depends on who was captured and how close I was to him. I mean, Lydia's abused and she's whatever, and I know that Luke and I guess Daryl's not really all that close with Alden. I don't know, maybe he is, but I know they're not Daryl's best friends, but you got to kind of weigh here. I'm telling what are the risks of giving her away? If we give her away, she's going to be abused more, whatever. But we get our people back. If we keep her, then there's a chance that we're going to war. There's 2 people of ours are going to get killed. It's a tough call, man.
I would have had my archers drawn, and I'd just been like, look, you have till the count of 3. Let them go.
Or you're going to die.
Nobody's going to be standing, and whoever comes next, I mean, it's going to be another wave of arrows. So
I feel like they might get to that,
Yeah, I'd have been like, we'll see what runs out first. Your people or our arrows, and, we'll go from there. I mean, you're the only one not wearing a mask. You say your name's Alpha, so you've kind of given away that you're the leader.
Oh well, we now Daryl and them. Yeah, you're right. She's totally given away that she's the leader because we know that she's Lydia's mom, and Lydia has told them that her mom is the leader.
Right.
You just gave yourself up, man, big time. I mean, you definitely.
I would have had bows drawn on them, man, and I
would have had everyone at the ready for sure.
Like it would have, man. I don't know in my head for some reason. I know you're not a big Star Trek Next Generation fan, but just Jean-Luc Picard, he would have just went up to her and been like, "Yeah, if we believe in one thing, it's freedom of will. Your daughter does not wish to join you, and we respect that human right. And you have no right to keep our people. And we will open phasers." So, and that's I do an awful Patrick Stewart. That's how he would have handled that.
That was a pretty terrible Patrick. It was the spirit was right.
The spirit,
the accent was.
Yeah, I don't.
But you had the passion.
But that was and that's how he would have handled it.
Oh no, and we've already joked around about the apocalypse man. Like everybody I think that watches the show at some point has sat around with their buddies drinking beer, and you're like, so what would you do in this situation? And no, I mean, like I've got several, like me and obviously we're not. Some people think you're being dead serious and stuff, but like obviously just sitting around bullshit. No, we've came up with several protocols just out the gate, like for defending our walls. You know what I mean? Right. Like when someone approaches, we've already got some plans that involve, having them realize, oh, we walked up to the wrong gate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how much time has elapsed since like the death of Jesus and all this stuff, but I definitely would have been setting up some, security protocols. Like I said, archers on the walls at all
absolutely.
Times, in shifts, maybe lay some booby traps outside the walls. I don't know. I don't know if they had time for all that or not, but I mean, I would have been ready for like an invading force. I mean, especially, like the whole war with Negan is still fresh in everyone's mind. I know it's been a few years, but still.
Oh, yeah.
You would think they would have protocol for this kind of thing. I mean.
Oh, yeah. We've even talked about it, like setting up guards like at a distance that's far enough away from you. And you hide them well, but at a distance so far enough away that, because obviously it's like, you could put guards even further out from the wall, but then you run the risk of them being discovered and taken out without you knowing.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about putting some guards even further out to the point where most enemies wouldn't even suspect that, you know what I'm saying? To the point that when they cross over, ahead of time, hey, whatever your signal may be, something's coming. So then you've got kind of waves of protocols you can go through to get ready. And like you said, I absolutely would have been like, all right, everyone that has a pointy object or a gun, I want it pointed at one of them. Told them, been like, look, man, at the end of the day, it can come down to the last man, but obviously we're going to win this. So
I'm telling you, man, here's a what if for you.
All right.
Lydia's being held at Alexandria, and Alpha and her boys walk up to the gates of Alexandria, and she's interacting with Michonne. Now, how do you think that?
I honestly would have rather seen that. I mean, I know that they're kind of making Daryl the Rick part and Henry the Carl part, but either Carol or Michonne. You know what I mean? I would love to see a Carol Alpha, because they kind of are similar. They've, in a way, they're both women.
Yeah, they are.
There are some similarities there. I just can't think of all on the top of my head, but Michonne, man, I don't know, because Michonne's a hard ass, which Daryl's a hard ass too. So I don't know, man. Michonne and Daryl have bonded over something we've yet to see. But I think that I don't know what Michonne would.
Michonne's definitely become more of an isolationist.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the same time,
I think Michonne would have gave Lydia back.
I think she would have been more inclined to do so, but I think Judith would have been fighting to keep her there.
Of course.
So I don't know.
When Judith says something, I feel like there's supposed to be like a Disney Channel laugh track.
Right.
Like I was rewatching episode 9 when she's like, language asshole. Like I just imagine like a live studio audience in Disney Studios, like ha, and all clapping and stuff.
Yeah, and I think if it was the same situation at the Kingdom, Ezekiel would have given some rousing speech. And then somehow, some way, Carol would have came out with like a flamethrower, or a grenade launcher, and just obliterated everyone.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we have no idea how she would have made it happen, but yeah, they would have been incinerated.
It's Carol, what she's good at is killing lots of people.
She's the MacGyver of The Walking Dead. She'll find a way to kill you.
She would have came out with like a can of hairspray and a lighter from behind, and just been like, look. Check your hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She would have had a great, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, one-liner,
Should have looked at Alpha and been like, you look like you could use some hairspray.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's exactly how it would have been. Ezekiel would have been trying to find peace and inspire, and then they would honestly have one of those moments where you think they might be starting to see his way, and then like Carol would just roll a couple of grenades, like suckers, and run off. Yeah, that's definitely how that would play out. I don't know, man. I think Michonne would be more inclined to give up Lydia.
Oh, I do.
I mean, because the thing is, that's why Daryl's going to have such a hard time giving up Lydia, which I'm cool with that. That was a good idea for them to go that route, because Daryl's been through that domestic abuse and an abusive parent who had a very skewed way of, raising. Like he said, some people aren't meant to be parents, and he totally relates to that. So that's probably why it's going to be a lot harder for Daryl to give up Lydia than Ezekiel, Carol, or which Carol's been abused too by her husband. So I don't know, it might be a little bit different, but definitely Michonne. Michonne's all about, like you said, preserving her little group. Or so if
do you do like a governor-esque type tactic, like we're going to meet at this neutral location at such and such a time?
I would never trust that. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Rick going to that was, in my opinion, I get it though. I get that Andrea extended the invitation,
right?
Yada yada yada. But at the same time, man, this guy's psycho. You do know enough about him. I know that he didn't know everything at that point, I guess. But I mean, that to me was a dumb move. I would have been like, absolutely not. Look, I'll tell you what. I'm going to send a scout out to drop a walkie-talkie. We'll shoot up a flare when he heads out, so you'll know where to find it. And then you and I'll discuss this, but absolutely not, man. I mean, and leaders do that, though. I mean, military, like in history, that has happened. People do go out to meet, and it's an honor code. But in this Walking Dead world, where very few people give a damn about honor, and it's just about their own psychotic wants and needs, hell with that.
Man, I'm telling you, the Whisperers would have been in trouble if Negan was still running things and they had to went up to the sanctuary. They would have just got mowed down.
I could hear him cracking some joke about them looking ready the part for the wall. Like, I love it when people on the wall are super ready to play the part.
Yeah, man. That would have been a great interaction. I'm sure we'll get to see some Negan Alpha, comings and goings in the near future.
Oh yeah,
but it's a softer, more tender Negan, which I think we can all appreciate.
I think he'll be a hard ass when he needs to be.
Yeah, it's still in there.
We'll see him. We'll see him like fighting Beta or fighting some Whispers and just kicking ass. But I think he's got his views been aligned.
Yeah,
I still wonder. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, now Negan's got something to fight for besides just his own ego.
Right.
I mean, he's got Judith he cares about. I mean, he's got this renewed vision of like society. So yeah,
I wonder what he would have done if Michonne would have been in her room. Like, well, when he crept into Judas,
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like with the shovel, was he gonna kill? Like, would he have been able to do it?
I don't know, man. I don't know that he was looking for violence. I don't know what he was up to.
I would have said maybe not either, but he had a shovel.
Yeah, but I know he was planning on jumping the wall, and he knew he needed something, for stray walkers or whatever. But
yeah, and maybe.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. He might have bludgeoned Michonne to death at that. All I'm gonna say is a shovel against a samurai sword. I'm not sure how he would have made out, but
it depends on the shovel. I mean, if the shovel's heavy enough, it could. Because that's the one misconception. Not saying that some of them aren't, but katanas aren't really. Yeah, made for metal on metal. They were more made for, that's one thing a lot of TV shows get wrong. And again, I'm not saying that there aren't katanas out there you can fight with, but a lot of swords in general are really not made for, because when you hit metal on metal, guess what? You start chipping and cracking, and a lot of it, like everything that I've read on katanas, and I mean, I didn't take martial arts long, only like 10 years, but we were always told katanas were more like that stealthy kind of, you come up,
weapon of an assassin.
That's why, like in one swift move, it comes out of its I want to call it a sheath, but they call it like a scabbard or whatever.
Right.
Comes out, slices, and then it goes right back in.
And I'd like to see Negan with like a big ass like Highlander type, what you call like a broadsword or whatever.
I want to see Negan with like a mace.
Oh my god!
or like one of the spiked clubs from the medieval days, where it's like Lucille on steroids. Right. That'd be awesome. But I'm trying to. Yeah, I mean, I like this episode. It was a bit slower. it got really good towards the end. Like once the Whisperers started walking up to the gates, I was like, oh man! And of course, this is happening. Oh man, yep. I don't know, but I'm sorry, my phone's making. I just got a message from Aaron, who's never been on this podcast, but I get a message. Sup, man? Want to go with me to try and rescue a dog?
What the?
That's how I want to start my Monday morning.
Fall down a well or something?
Right. This better not be, man. It better not be one. I've had so many people like in different situations be like, yo, you trying to go with me to do blah, blah, blah? And you're like, yeah. And then it turns out you're going like to someone's house and you're like, I didn't sign up for this shit. You know what I mean?
You're going to come in tomorrow like missing 3 fingers and like all scratched up. And
you try like it'll be like some dude's been neglecting a dog and Aaron just wants to storm into their house.
Yeah.
Like, don't bring me, I'm not going to be your muscle for this.
Yeah, dude,
we're trespassing. I mean, you call the animal, don't get me wrong, I'm all for saving pets.
Yeah, but there are authorities for that.
Right. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, sorry, I got distracted. But when the Whisperers started walking up at the end, man, I was like, oh, here we go. And I kind of looked at the clock and I was like, we've only got like 2 minutes left.
Yeah, son of a bitch. But it looks like we're going to have a tight opener. God, I hope the next episode doesn't like to just open up at the kingdom or something like that.
Oh, man, and we don't get back to... Oh, no, I don't. Yeah. I think they've learned their lesson. If they did that, I would say there might not be any hope left for this show because that's...
Yeah. I really hope that's not what's going on.
I mean, that's always terrible when you leave on something like that, and then it's like, we're going to make them wait an episode or half an episode or whatever. Dude. No, that needs to be what we go right back to.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Somebody was showing, Rosita's hooked up with quite a few people. A lot more than I was thinking. She's hooked up with Spencer.
Yes.
Abraham. Father Gabriel. Sadiq. I think it was somebody else. But the one person she ain't hooked up with is Eugene.
Nah, man. Eugene's still got those blue balls.
Poor Eugene's probably scarred. He pours his heart out to a girl and she runs outside and starts throwing up, which he did hear her say she was pregnant. But he wouldn't have. It's just like, I really like you.
I'm telling you, man, when Eugene was at the sanctuary and like Negan sends those 2 girls to his room, man, like months, I guess even years of sexual frustration, man, I would have got it out. And after that, I'd have been like, yeah, we're going to win the war, Negan. I'm going to keep this butt on tap and we're going to win this thing.
Wait.
But that's not how it went. So
Go back. Say that again.
I was just saying, you remember when Eugene first comes to the sanctuary, is brought to the sanctuary, and Negan sends those 2 girls to his room, and like he doesn't really do anything with them, right?
No, not at all. He plays video games and he shows them little science experiments.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I would have got all those years of sexual frustration out.
Well, but he couldn't have sex with them, though. That was what Negan said.
What, Negan said he couldn't? What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Negan said he could look, but he couldn't touch.
I didn't remember that. What?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, no. Negan told him. Now, Dwight was told, you had that whole scene where, excuse my language, ladies, but he's like, I just said it's open. What did he say? It's, I just gave you an open tab at the pussy bar, something to that effect. And
Jesus.
He told Dwight that as long as the girl was consenting, he could have a, with an old flame, I guess, talking about Sherry. But, yeah, no, Eugene was told to look, not to touch.
What a sick bastard.
Who? Negan?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
No, you don't mean that. You had all those wives. Would you let somebody shack up with one of them?
Well, I mean, I might not have sent him wives, but I'm sure he's got just whores on tap, I mean, I'm sure he could ask just about any woman, I mean, you want to get off the assembly line for like a week? Go, give Eugene a little lip service.
Lip service.
Yeah.
So what did you like? What did you not like about this episode?
I didn't like obviously, anything Henry centric. I'm not going to be into.
Right.
I mean,
understandable.
I kind of Daryl's got some good stuff going on. But I really want to rewatch to get the gist of the flashbacks. Like I said, I didn't have the best viewing experience, just like technically, and so I don't know, man. I mean, it was all right. It was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad episode, but it didn't leave me frothing at the mouth.
Frothing at the mouth, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a good thing if it did leave me frothing at the mouth. It probably would mean I had a seizure.
Ooh, what about Connie? Do you think she's going to be okay? You know, she was kind of walking, way behind the group when they were coming back. Right. Do you think that, because Kelly was ahead. I don't know if they were not, whatever. Because I know Kelly wanted to stay. Right. Connie was like the last link in the chain, was like, no, we do need to go back. And then I guess decided to stay. And I don't know, man. Do you think that Connie's going to be okay? I mean, she seems to have gotten away, but the Whisperers also are...
They're legion.
They're observant, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Time will tell. Will Lydia stay? Will she go?
I don't know. At the end, was Tara talking to Yumiko or was she talking to Magna? On the wall when she said the whole, if you want to, wasn't she talking to Unica?
Yeah.
Unico?
Yeah.
Her and Magna are a thing. And, Tara is a lesbian herself.
From what I understand.
Do you think there might be a little love triangle there in the future?
I'd like to see some polyamorous activity.
Poor Tara's not had any kind of relationship since Denise. She hadn't really gotten, it's been 6 years too. There's got to be something that's, she's had to have
slapped clams with somebody. Yeah, absolutely. I would hope. Jesus.
I don't know. I've never heard that before.
Well,
never heard that before. But so let's go ahead and let's give it a. I'm trying to think. Make sure there's nothing we left out.
I think we covered it pretty good.
Let's
sure there's something we left out, but all in all,
we always do.
Yeah,
but we have nice people to let us know.
Yeah, like I said, we do these so early, and I know we only get one watch a piece. We really, ideally, you need to watch something twice, once for enjoyment, and the second time for analytics. But
without a doubt.
Look, who's got time for that?
Well, what do you give this episode on a 1 to 5 star scale?
I'll give it a 3.
A 3?
Yeah, I give it a 3.
3.
And like I said, that's me really needing to go back and watching on a better screen so I can get a better perspective on the flashback. So that grade could change a little bit. I mean, honestly, I want to give it a 2.5, but that's me not really fully absorbing it,
right?
Just due to my viewing conditions.
I'm gonna give it a. I don't know, man. Just because I think the writing is so bad with Henry, and that's just my opinion. If you like Henry, you like Henry. It's just I'm still not sure. I don't dislike Judith, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm all
Henry.
Oh, without a doubt. But everybody's got different thoughts. I think that Henry sucks. I agree. Henry sucks. I'm hoping never really wished death on a kid before, but I'm kind of hoping his head ends up on a spike, or maybe he gets the Heath treatment and just maybe Alpha.
Some executive in Hollywood, please offer that actor some great role and just pull
get him the hell out of there.
Dead. Yeah, just please do it.
Maybe we'll get lucky in his
show
death.
I don't love either. Put him on some show that I have no intention of ever watching. Some ABC family rom-com.
Put him on The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, anything, man.
Because I don't think you're ever going to watch that.
No, I will not.
But yeah, I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I like the episode. I like the backstory. I liked. And keep in mind, 3.5 out of 5. So that's the equivalent of saying
that's
out of right. That's like saying out of 10, giving them 7.
Yeah.
Right? Is my math right? It's somewhere in the same range.
It's like a B+.
Give them the majority. Yeah, I give it 3.5. It was a good episode. I definitely think some good things are on the way. I like that they're kind of taking the time to, really build these characters up, to get to know these characters. And I hate to use the term flesh out again, because I'm starting to hear a lot of movie critics use that, and I hate to sound like a snobby internet movie critic. I like these really fleshed out characters.
Right.
But they're doing a really good job of like I said, the Daryl thing. That makes a lot of sense why he would hesitate to not just give her back to get his people back, because he's been through it. He's been abused. He's been beaten, had someone that, just apparently was just not a good parent. So he understands that. So 3.5. I liked it. I didn't really like Henry's part again.
like I said, my grade could change after I rewatch. I'm sticking with the 2.5 right now.
You said
I said 3 originally.
Oh wow! I'm backing it on down. Damn.
Yeah, like I said, the Henry just really sticks in my craw, and I do need to rewatch and
yeah, he's terrible.
Absorb. So maybe like I said, I might take it back up to a 3, maybe even a 3.5. But as for right now, I'm sitting on a 2.5.
Yeah, Henry's awful. So Henry just.
I thought it was also kind of cool that they. I guess the Whisperers essentially like gutted that horse to feed to the walkers, I guess is what I mean. Do walkers are they more active if they've had a full meal? I mean, it's not like they're digesting anything.
Wait, ask that again? I'm sorry. The dude was messaging me about rescuing a dog again.
Oh God! Like in towards the beginning when the walkers are eating the horse, and then they're like, somebody killed the walkers just didn't kill this horse. This horse has been slit through the belly or whatever.
Right.
So I guess the Whisperers think they're helping the walkers by like
I just took it as they were trying to get the walkers to stay in one spot so they could divert from them without the, you know what I mean? Because they so couldn't go to
more or less them just trying to direct them.
Right. I was thinking and I don't know if it was particularly for the gate, but for example, they travel with the herd of walkers, but they couldn't just have the walkers follow them up to the gates unless their plan was to straight up destroy the place.
So it's kind of like breadcrumbs.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like they would just kind of
they don't feel the need to actually feed the walkers like Herschel with the chickens in the barn.
Right. I don't think so. Now I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think it was just more of a stay. Right. You know what I mean? They knew they would stay there eating the horses and they could come back and
okay.
Whatever. I'm thinking. This is the way I took it.
Just a leading tactic.
Yeah. Right. If there's another, reason or whatnot, please let us know in the comments section. But yeah, so I give it a 3.5. JP gives it a freaking 2.5. That's probably the lowest episode, probably the lowest rating you've ever given an episode.
Since
ever.
Angela King's taken over,
I think ever. I don't remember you ever going that low.
We used
when
to
Matt was on the podcast.
Scales.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know if maybe it translated back then, but because at the time I don't think we ever went below a 5. That's why we kind of adjusted to the 5-point scale.
Right.
We were never really given anything less than a 5. So.
Yeah.
Unless the Beth and Daryl cabin episode, we may.
I give that a 0.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might have went below a 5 on that one. Yeah, we were even rating them.
I go below a 0.
That was a long time ago. But.
I love Daryl this season, but my God, I hated that episode. I still don't when I'm rewatching the series. Mm-hmm. Whenever I get to that, or just I actually will watch the Beth and him episode, even though I don't think it's that good. But where they go into the country club or whatever. Right, yeah. But whenever it gets to that episode with the moonshine in the cabin, I always just skip right over it.
Yeah, man. But we're gonna do our random rambling Wednesdays, so I will hopefully have rewatched by then, and I'll tell you if I change my opinion by Wednesday.
So if you want to see, if you don't normally listen to that podcast, but you want to see if JP has recanted his rating or changed it at all, make sure to check it out when that comes out on Wednesday, and you shall see. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this podcast.
Yeah, I think we're done.
I think I'm going to go take a nap.
I need a nap and a bathroom.
A nap and a bath. In which order? Are you going to the bathroom then nap?
I might just shit the bed. I don't know.
I mean,
we'll see.
It happens.
Man, it's been a long time.
I got to get home today because Fallout, I can't even remember what it's called. Not Fallout, damn it. Far Cry, New Dawn or whatever came out today. So I got to get that. I know.
Sounds cool.
I know you don't. Cool. But for those that listen, have you played the Fallout? Not Fallout, damn it. Far Cry series. I always want to call it Fallout. I've never played Fallout. But do you play the Far Cry series? Because I loved 5, and I'm going to rent the expansion. I'm not going to buy it. I think it's just basically DLC. But
right.
Are you playing it? Let us know what you think.
How many games would you say you actually buy nowadays? As opposed to just rent? It's not a lot.
Like Far Cry 5 came out, and that was a great game. Loved it. Came out around this time last year, maybe March or April-ish. But I rented it for 3 days. And beat it and then turned it back. You know what I mean? I played with a few friends, played it, loved it, turned it back in, and the $9 that I paid to rent it for 3 days, $3 or something like that a day,
as well,
way cheaper than $60 to own it.
Yeah, man. I read somewhere, I don't know if it's Microsoft or what company, but they want to basically make a Netflix for video games.
That would be awesome. Well, PlayStation has something similar to that, but it just does not have. It is like Netflix, because Netflix doesn't have all new movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At least they did. I tried the trial of it. If you use this, don't know what it's called, please let us know in the comments below. I can't. But it was a service where they put games on there and you stream them, so you don't have to download the game. So
that's cool.
That's how I played. I got a free week's trial, and I can't remember how, but I ended up getting another free week's trial. But I played The Last of Us. That's how I played the Telltale Walking Dead 1 and 2, because it was on there. But they might not have brand new games, but you can go back and stream these games. You pay a monthly fee, and
that's clever.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Man, everything's going that way, it seems.
But yeah, no, I don't buy many. If it's got a really high replay value, or if it's something that I just love, like BioShock or Resident Evil. The Resident Evil 2 remake came out, and it's phenomenal. So it's games like that I'll buy. I'm buying Days Gone.
Yeah.
Stop yawning.
I'm sorry.
Why are you doing this to me?
I'm sorry. We need to get out of here. Let's save this for Wednesday.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm toast, pal.
Oh, you're making me yawn again, man.
Yeah.
JP and I are actually, with some other friends, planning on doing a little backpacking trip at the end of March. I want to get back into the woods. So
hopefully my job situation will be resolved by then, and my weekends will be all my own.
It will, either way.
Yeah.
You'll be there. But so we're looking forward to that. Lots on the way. So we will catch you on Wednesday with hopefully a special guest in studio.
Yeah, we're planning on it.
We might be talking about that deer zombie virus going around.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
what a scary thing.
We'll see if that's worth discussing. In the meantime, be good. I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And we are the Podcasting Dead.